Welcome back to the Morristown Market Report. I'm Amy Schrader with Remax Real Estate 10.
And I'm Kim Swan with Union Home Mortgage.
And our special guest today is Keisha Monroe with Lavishly Local. But before we get to her, I'm going to get Kim to give us our market update for today to let us know what rates are doing.
Okay. They've actually come down some. So in the 30 years, of course, we're looking in the low, I say upper fives, but before we were in the lower sixes, so we're in the upper fives. A lot of things go into that as we talk, credit score and things like that. So definitely on the trend that we're wanting to see. So
good deal.
Definitely.
All right. Well, Kim's got an appointment at her office to get to, so we're going to say goodbye to Kim.
All right.
And then we're going to focus our attention on Miss Keisha over here.
Just one shout out. Today's Dolly Parton's birthday. I'm sporting my Dolly Parton t-shirt. So what would Dolly do? So don't anybody forget how great Dolly's been to our local area. So
very good.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. All right, Keisha, what can you tell me about what you do?
Well, I own a social media marketing company called Lavishly Local. I do social media management, events, actually a little bit of everything, whatever it is they need, TikToks, videos. The events, of course, are Juneteenth, and we have an R&B music award thing coming up soon, a little bit of everything.
All right. What got you started in doing social media management?
Well, prior to this, I was working at the Citizen Tribune and built some relationships with some really nice CEOs of different companies in Morristown, and so there was a need for small businesses to get a social media platform to share with some of the bigger companies. And after leaving the Tribune, some of them were like, well, just come and still do my social media. And from that, it started with like one or two, and now it's like 27.
Good deal. All right. So what are some of the biggest challenges you've faced when you're managing social media?
Time. Making sure that I am available to get around to see everybody and make sure everybody's posts go out when they're supposed to, and that I don't put the wrong logo on the wrong ad, and that happens.
Keeping everybody straight.
Yes, time is my biggest thing.
How do you stay on top of algorithm changes and updates to these various social media platforms?
I think I get a notification for a new class at least twice a week. I spend most of my nights online doing continuing education. Most of the time it's an hour of class at time that things are staying the same. And then they do an update that changes everything anyway. So.
Right. I know that's frustrating for me as a business owner that, it's like once you think you've mastered one of these, then they go and change the algorithm or they change the way they want you to do stuff, and it's just
And when it does change, it normally seems drastic. Like I just had a class saying that certain businesses need to post at these exact times, and then like 3 months later, like, okay, we were totally wrong. Go back to the other time. And so I just had one saying that people in the restaurant industry need to post between like 7 and 8 in the morning, and I'm like, what? And then they're like, no, just kidding. Just kidding. We'll stick to lunchtime.
Well, see, to me, the early morning post would make more sense because people are looking then, and so they would see something and be like, oh, that's where I can go for lunch. Whereas if you wait till lunchtime, they're usually already at the spot.
This is true, but I think what they learned was that early mornings are becoming a little harder for people to have time to sit down. So depending on who you're reaching, us mamas, we don't have time to social media in the mornings. We're trying to get the kids where we got to be, and at lunchtime, about 10 o'clock is where I'm trying to think about where I'm going to eat and have enough time to sit down and actually check my phone, sometimes for the first time during the day. So I miss all that early morning post.
And that's when I have my quiet time, so that's when I can scroll. So how do you measure success for your clients?
I like to see, we of course look to see about their followers. So we look to see about their actual engagement on certain posts. And of course we look at their numbers and see if they are getting a lot of recommendations from Facebook and how their actual numbers have looked from year to year based on when we started.
Okay.
And then Facebook makes it really easy. Instagram not so much, but Facebook makes it really easy to let me know how I'm doing on the page without me having to go in. They give me the analytics every 30 days.
Yeah, they do. TikTok
and all the rest of them, you got to search for them, but Facebook just gives it to you.
So how do you help your clients develop a content strategy?
I have found that most people have no idea what it is, so I take some time shopping in their store and I kind of stalk them out and spend some time hiding out in the shadows to see who comes in their store, who spends the most money when they do, and then we try to find out something to target that. We try to stay on top of things that are going on in the world and make our posts our Instagram reels kind of relevant to anything juicy that's going on. You're really good about the juicy. I like the ones who like to live on the edge, like Amy.
So what role does storytelling play in your social media?
I have 5 clients that are like Medicare. And those are harder. Sometimes storytelling, a lot of times I've had a lot of feedback on people who like to hear the story behind how the actual business got started. And sometimes people are drawn in to shop with them just because they like their personal story. But some of them are just not possible. Excuse me, they're not possible to tell a story with the Medicare and some of the restaurants. It's just kind of, you like the food, it looks good, or you don't, or you're 65 and you need medical insurance. No storytelling in that. I prefer.
Well, you gotta find a good client and help them to, you know what I'm saying? Like for a restaurant, I would find somebody who's like the most frequent client of that restaurant and have them talk about it.
That's true. We try to put up quotes and stuff from different people who frequent the restaurant, and even a lot of times I ask them if I can use them in the ads because people like to see themselves.
Oh yeah, and then they'll share it.
Mm-hmm. And we do. Some people are like, absolutely not, I don't want to be on camera. But we do have some, and I'll catch them like mid-bite, and they're like, oh, let's not use that one. I'm like, but that was in the moment.
Like you were ready to eat that.
Yeah, we could see the passion you had for that burger as you were taking a bite.
All right, can you share any examples of innovative social media campaigns that you have executed?
Let's see. We did one recently with the nursing homes, where the intake office and I worked on a strategy to get the ones who, we have a couple of nursing homes that have like a younger crowd. Well, 65 is still young. So they have like a 60 to 65 range of people who were coming in that are coming into that. We did a whole campaign with them on how to get those people into Medicare, and we did like a party and we threw them like Medicare parties and did a huge thing on social media for it, and we got a lot of turnout from that. People were excited about turning 65 because they got a gift, and then they also got to get Medicare.
Well, I think that's probably very beneficial because a lot of people, like, you don't know how to sign up for all that stuff.
And we came to them, so they didn't have to worry. I mean, they're in the nursing home and their families. Some are busy and they can't get out and find that information for them. So it's so hard to do that over the phone. And so to go out to the nursing homes and for them to allow us to come in and talk to their clients and provide them with, most of them, a secondary insurance, because most of them were transitioning over from what they had into what they needed. But it was beneficial for both because we got a lot of exposure and they got a seamless way to enroll.
Good deal. All right, so what can you tell us about the cost of your services?
I offer 3 posts a week and analytics, and I shoot and make all the content for $150 a month. It is priced for small businesses, those who are not necessarily struggling but looking to build and don't have a lot of money budgeted for marketing. So that's normally my target audience.
All right, good deal. So you mentioned Juneteenth a minute ago. So, I'm going to be honest, up until a few years ago, I had no idea what Juneteenth was. We had never heard of it, didn't know anything about it. So I try to sponsor and help y'all out. So why don't you share with people a little bit about what Juneteenth is and why we celebrate that?
Juneteenth is basically like our 4th of July. It is also known as Freedom Day. And we're coming up on our 4th year of celebrating it. And it is literally, I always break it down to, it is basically another 4th of July celebration. We do basically the same thing they do at Cherokee Park. We are hosting it at the Farmers Market, downtown Morristown. This will be our 2nd year there. We did start out at Cherokee Park. And we have a spot for vendors to come out and sell. We have performances all day long and things for the kids. Of course, food. I think we have 8 food trucks this year, because 4 was not enough last year. Last year we had 4 food trucks and almost 1,200 people showed up for the event, and the lines were long. So we're going to double it this time because we're hoping to double in number this time too.
So where do people park if they're coming to this event?
So we have parking across the street at Health Star, across the street at Pet Sense. They gave us a few parking spots, and then of course on the other side of the railroad tracks, all the downtown parking is available. And we have 3 this year. We will have 3 golf carts to bring people back and forth if they cannot get across that railroad track. And we're also going to have a text pickup service too. So you just stay in your car and text us what car you're in, and we'll come and get you and take you to the stage.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Bring your chair, because it is, no seating out there under the pavilion, but it is shaded, so you don't have to worry about being in the sun.
So what day is Juneteenth?
We're having it on actual Juneteenth, which is June the 19th, which this year is a Monday. So it will be Monday, June the 19th from 5 to 9 in the farmer's market.
Good deal. So do you still have vendor opportunities available if somebody wanted to participate?
We have 14 vendor spots open still. It is $25 for vendors to reserve their spots. It is free for the food trucks, but we are sold out. Well, no, we have one more spot open for food trucks. I can fit one more because they just told me yesterday that the city is about to do some renovations down there and make some hubs for food trucks, which would be great if that's done by then. So you will not need a generator. They will be plugged up, already ready for you. But we do have vendor spots open, and we have lots of sponsorships open. So you can look up Hamlin County Juneteenth Facebook page and contact us directly. It will be me or another board member that will answer you if any questions you have about sponsorships or vendors.
Good deal. So if somebody wants to become a client of you, how do they do that?
You would look me up on Lavishly Local, and you can message me, hit my DM right there on Facebook. You can email me at lavishlylocal@gmail.com, or you can send me a text, because I know they don't answer the phone, at 865-322-2296.
All right, slow down and say that phone number one more
It's a
time.
lot of twos.
It is.
865-322-2296.
All right, thanks so much. This is Keisha Monroe with Lavishly Local. We're so excited that she could be here today to join us and share with us about her business as well as Juneteenth that's coming up in June. So, again, I'm Amy Schrader with Remax Real Estate 10, and we will be back next week with the Morristown Market Report.